Greetings, geeks. We are flying high on episode 747 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taklamalda, and I am joined today, of course, by Rob Roseboom.
I'm flying high.
And Chris DeBona.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
For our many listeners.
Thousands.
And viewers. So, you know the tape you use when you're doing plumbing? You know, the Teflon tape that you wrap around?
Sure.
You know, things to seal the connection between two hoses and
Indeed.
a hose bib. Okay. There's also one that's yellow that you're supposed to use for gas. Are they actually different though?
Oh,
at
that's
all?
a good question.
I feel like it's kind of a scam. Like why should
big
gas,
Teflon?
It's like big Teflon. Is it a thinner Mylar in between?
I gotta tell you, given that gas is involved, I would tend to err on the side of I'll just use the thing that they say is for the task.
Yeah.
Because gas.
Okay, so I found a snack exchange question.
If there would be a difference, I imagine one would be more water resistant than the other, right? But I don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. It says thread seal tape for gas lines is less heavy duty than water lines.
Oh, there you go. Welcome to Home Repair on Geeks in Space, where a bunch of people who are primarily hardware and software engineering guys try to figure out plumbing.
Huh. Natural gas lines meet the commercial grade AA58092, which is 3.5 millimeters. Think that probably
you know how to party. So yeah, episode 747 because it's an airplane. See, because it's an airplane. We're flying high. So that was a joke. See how I did that? You like that?
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe you should get a puppet. Maybe that would help your act.
Ooh, a ventriloquism dummy.
Yeah. Something.
Maybe I am the ventriloquism dummy. Rob, where's your hand?
Can I be honest? Every
Yes.
time I've seen a ventriloquist act, it kind of grosses me out, and I hated them all. I mean, even Madam and what's her name
On
Sherry
Mr.
Williams.
Rogers.
Sherry Williams was all right with Lamb Chop, but that's more puppet. Yeah. But like ventriloquist dummies, they've always been like, no, they're just gross.
So ventriloquist dummies are like clowns to you?
Yeah. I think it's my clown.
So not a Jeff Dunham fan. Then.
Nope, not a Jeff Dunham fan.
Got it.
I go click right past.
Fair enough.
No Jeff Dunham for this person.
If you're practicing your ventriloquism on your porch now, and you happen to have cameras around, the San Francisco police can now watch your surveillance cameras.
I guess they're on the Ring or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the story kind of seemed a little weird to me because I felt like I assumed that they're already doing that.
No, so they're not supposed to be.
Sure, but I don't believe that.
Out, the city board of supervisors does not have the power to grant the police department access to private surveillance cameras. Period.
Well, the other thing,
is classic San Francisco board of supervisors posturing bullshit. Okay.
Well,
those people hate the cops. They don't fund the cops. And then they're like, oh, no, but we'll let you look at everyone's cameras. And everyone's like, no, you won't. Screw you.
To be fair, they do have the power to do that. It just won't hold up in court.
Well, they have the power to sit at their chair and talk into their microphone like an idiot.
Yes.
But
and let it happen for a while until a court says no.
Here, everyone listening to the podcast, you don't have to pay taxes anymore. There.
You did it.
Do I have the power to say that over this microphone? Turns out I do.
I mean, Alex Jones said a lot of stuff.
No, it ain't gonna hold up in court.
We continue
he's
to
still
have
saying a lot of stuff.
I know that guy's a jerk.
He's pitching his stuff while he's testifying.
On the stand.
Hilarious.
And the
it's
judge
amazing.
is so not having it.
It's amazing.
I mean, he's going to be out $1 billion by the end of this thing.
No,
which will be great.
He's going to get. There's going to be no real consequence. No real consequence.
Oh no! I mean, he's not going to be able to make like all of his tricks to try to hide his money.
No real consequence.
No one's having it.
5 years from now, no real consequence. That's my prediction.
5 years from now,
he already has consequences. He already has to pay millions.
I bet he's dead, and his followers are saying that he was killed by the state.
Like I said, 5 years from now, there will be no consequences.
He'll kill himself drunk in a Reno hotel room.
Ouch, that's harsh.
And not a nice one. Okay. It'll be a
Okay,
sad
so the ACLU is against this surveillance stuff, and the thing that I just wanted to point out, they made a good point. Yeah, shocking, right? They made a funny point because the argument was that basically the cops should be able to turn on and use your camera if a crime is being committed, and they're like, yeah, but somebody jaywalks everywhere. So a crime is always being committed, so your camera is always available, and don't kid yourself, because that's how these things work. So yeah,
the cops in San Francisco are either hamstrung or completely out of band. I mean, they're so bimodal there. And if the city really wants to put up a bunch of cameras up on street poles, have at it. That's city property. We're not going to stop you. But, start pointing them inside houses.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
It's going to happen.
It's going to be great. They caught the Grand Theft Auto 6 leaker allegedly. I guess
some 17-year-old kid.
They caught a guy who they allege is the leaker or the thief.
Well, they've got all of his posts, of Dog Walker 72 on Reddit or whatever, right?
Yeah. So that dude's probably going to be in trouble.
Yeah. How about we agree to disagree on this one too?
Yeah, you don't think he's going to
be in trouble at all?
No consequences.
He's under 18. This is
That's
London,
true.
not right.
That's true.
Yeah, city of London. I mean, Christ, these people are so busy, kissing Russian ass to keep all their assets in the country. They don't give a crap about some, kid.
Wow, we're political today.
We're political.
Wow, edgy.
Are you saying you're for the Russian invasion of Ukraine?
I don't think I said anything like that.
That's exactly what you said.
I don't think any
you would
of those
rather
words...
the city of London arrest this kid for admittedly a stupid crime rather than claim the assets of the Russian oligarchs who are trying to hide money in the city of London. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Malda?
And respect the sovereignty of another nation. Come on, Rob.
I guess all I was saying is that this kid messed with $1 billion business, and when you mess with $1 billion, there are often consequences.
Yeah, but what's the value of Ukraine? More than probably $1 billion. I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're talking
about. Which $1
billion
billion business are you into, man?
I'm talking about Grand Theft Auto. I'm talking about a video game. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I was watching a lot of the conscription videos.
Oh yeah, those are terrifying.
They're No. It's even worse. There's one guy. He's like, no, I willingly came in. I'm going to defend the motherland. And he's walking around the dorms. He's like, nobody has a bed here, though. What is going on? There's no beds in the barracks. Everyone's sleeping on the floor. And he's like, I don't think this bodes well for the war.
Nope.
Like, you don't think so, huh?
Nope. Yeah. Probably bad.
Welcome to Meat Grinder, buddy. So
yeah, and it's only going to get worse.
Oh my God.
Magnum agrees with you, Chris. He says ventriloquism is gross.
Thank you, Magnum. You can hang out with me anytime.
To this day, I think it's the movie Enemy of the Gates. Enemy at the Gates, the scene.
Enemy at the Gates, yeah.
Where they got the Russian conscripts. They give one guy a rifle with a magazine and another guy a magazine, and are like, when the guy in front of you with a rifle and a magazine dies, you pick up his rifle and put your magazine in it and start fighting. It's just such a brutal scene. They're like, holy shit. I can't imagine. So yeah, some of those are the ones coming out now.
They were reactivating the T-62 tanks.
Yeah.
It's like
that's fine.
It'd be like going into war with Rob's Audi. It's like
which I don't even have anymore, so it's hard.
Oh, you get rid of it finally?
Oh yeah, I got rid of that like a year ago. I don't have a car right now.
Oh, you've been carless.
Yeah, my life is dramatically complicated by the fact that I have to share a car with my wife, and she's always gone.
Well, I mean, she's doing.
I'm a prisoner in my own home.
She's doing the work of the family.
All right, guys. Who's gonna do their Darth Vader impression?
I'm gonna let Rob.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. So
there's probably like a vocoder already out there trained on it.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that.
That was good.
Yeah, good job, Roseboom. James Earl Jones has legally signed over the rights to having Respeecher synthesize his voice for future use of Darth Vader, the character, in whatever Disney chooses to use him for. So I look forward to him advertising vacuum cleaners forever.
Yep.
So
and the next emoji movie.
The vacuum cleaner comment was a reference to the Fred Astaire dancing with was it Abyssal Power Vac
Yes,
or
indeed.
whatever, or Stick Vac?
Yep.
Back in the 90s, right, where they basically
I don't think it was that long ago, was
in.
it?
Yeah, I think it was.
I thought it was like the mid 2000s, but I guess
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
look it up.
When did Fred Astaire dance with a vacuum cleaner? Internet.
Fred Astaire dance with a vacuum. Not in a vacuum. That'd be a very different
that's
movie.
different. He would be dead. Well, I guess he is dead.
1997.
Wow.
In a Super Bowl
Super Bowl
commercial.
ad, yeah.
So maybe it was 98. Yeah.
I remember seeing
No,
it.
97. Yeah.
I remember seeing it, so I watched the game. Yeah, that's so the one thing is that I had heard that they've been synthesizing his voice to some extent for a while. Like some of his voice, they were like doing some sort of thing where they would hybrid it with Hayden Christensen's voice, like when the mask was off for shots in Obi-Wan. So it's not that this is a particularly new thing necessarily, but this is like he legally sold over the rights. Like I would assume like somebody like Bruce Willis, because you remember there was an ad not that long ago where Bruce Willis was like CG.
Yes.
And
his voice was never that distinctive to me.
No, they CG'd Bruce Willis, the actor.
The whole actor.
Yeah. So like his image as a 3-dimensional ventriloquism puppet, which is going to be really cool for when Chris decides to puppet Bruce Willis.
Barf. Barfity barf barf.
Barfity barf. I don't know. I just think, well, I guess this kind of dovetails nicely into the death of VFX video thing that's also on our list. Did either of you watch this video?
No.
Okay, so the video itself is not of any interest to me. But
is this Corridor people?
Yeah, it's Corridor.
It's so padded, man.
What's that?
They're so padded.
Yeah, they're bad. And the whole last half of it you don't need to watch. But there's about 5 minutes in the middle where they're just basically they scanned in one of the guy's faces and then they just like start turning him into stuff. Okay. And they like make him be characters in video games and make him be like different character classes and art styles. And I mean, we've been seeing this stuff, but it's just really well executed. It's like they turned him into Kratos from God of War. It's like, who wouldn't want to have that as their profile picture? Well, now there's just going to be a webpage where you just click that and then your face is Kratos from God of War. And it does a good job.
I don't want to be the God of War.
Are you a peaceful fellow?
No, I just don't want to be the God of War.
Like a really bitchin' Duke?
I don't know.
Duke of War.
Do they have him as Zuckerberg?
Maybe.
That would be pretty funny.
Anyway, like you can skip like the first 5 minutes of that video and you don't have to watch the last half, but like there's like a 5-minute chunk that is actually like, like they're stepping through, because the last thing that they basically do is they make a kid's storybook where they just stick all their pictures into it. And Kathleen pointed out that what this basically means is that within a year or two, probably, every kid's book that you play is going to basically scan your kid's face, which has privacy implications, whatever. But now...
whatever.
Right, whatever. San Francisco's already got your camera on in your bathroom, so whatever.
Yeah, they've already got a photo, so it's fine.
They got the toilet cam.
Sorry, I thought I was showing you what I was tabbing through.
You're not. Yeah, don't watch any of that.
Hear the sound.
Don't watch any of their stupid story. Whatever, they're having fun, but...
There's so much dumbness.
Yeah, that's one of those shows you got to watch with a heavy fast forward. But this is what they scan the guy's face and they just start turning him into different art styles.
Yeah.
And like it's not like a celebrity. It's just like they made a model of this guy's look and can do whatever they want. They can turn him into whatever art style, whatever character. They can stick him into anything that the system already has a model for. And I just thought that's really freaking cool.
And then it's padded with 20 minutes of bullshit. Yeah.
Sure, you got to have 2 minutes.
I don't want to be Kratos, but I might want to be Optimus Prime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Optimus Zen.
Robtimus Prime.
Robtimus Prime.
Yeah.
I'll do that for you.
There you go.
Thanks, man.
I just thought this is one of the first times that I saw it executed in a simple way. But what I was saying is like your kid is going to be able to read a storybook now where their face is whatever the character in the story. You know, like that's going to be really neat. You know, it's also going to be kind of crazy. What, you know, we're not going to believe anything in 2 years. Like, you think truth is subjective now?
Wow. Yeah, I was messing around with some of the neural net voice cloning stuff. It's really fun. It's a really good time. My goal is to have Seraphim in the game, Rob, just be generated on the fly, you know, so we can just write a script and out it comes.
You guys are like a couple of years ahead of that, but you know it's going to be happening in the next year or two. Like that's just going to be especially with like
back heels with the game. Are you kidding?
Especially with like indie games, like really small, like if you want to, you can't afford voice acting, but you do have a game that has thousands of pages. I mean, you guys are a great use case for it, but you're probably like a year or two ahead of where this becomes standard.
I'm gonna rant at you here for a second.
All right.
All the companies that want to do this for you, though, they think video games make a lot of money. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, two or three of them
lifetime value is not that high. So when they, oh no, we're gonna make voices for all the games, and it's like, yeah, you're not, you know, not at that price. And they're, oh no, but it's so valuable. It's so much cheaper than voice acting. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not cheaper than me talking into a microphone.
But it's gonna again. This is a today problem, not a 5 year from now problem. Now you can go and download any model.
5 years from now in any game.
No. Yes, but there will still be people making new games in 5 years, Chris. And those people will just go and download husky male voice with New Zealand accent number 7.
No. It'll be even better than that. They'll download the GitHub Simple Vocoder project. They'll load it with the voice of someone on their team who's fine with it. And they will not download a voice. They'll download the model and they'll apply their voice to it.
True that.
Maybe not even that, because you can build a model yourself from first principles.
Yeah.
And it's all out there for free. And then the companies are like, no, we'll do it for you for a mere $2 per copy. It's like, yeah, sorry,
$2 a copy.
Real shame what happened to your VC money there.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be crazy. The voice stuff is going to be crazy. The picture stuff is going to be crazy. In a couple of years, like voice acting is going to just be a different thing, and you're only going to need it for the most bespoke of things, which is wild.
Which is why this story.
Which one is this?
It's so interesting.
This is the American Airlines voice.
Yeah.
So, according to the company, it's an issue with how their intercom system works. Lots of people who started reporting it thought someone had hacked into the intercom system in the plane and were, joking around and stuff. But according to the company, that is not true. There's some overall problem with how their intercom system works. But when you listen to it, you can see why people would think someone had hacked into it.
Are you ready? Here we go. There's that one.
Oh no. And that's just going on over the intercom. That's an organic sound.
The entire flight.
Oh no.
In here somewhere, there's a part where they get on. They're like, "I'm sorry, passengers. We know there's a problem."
It seems to have broken into somewhere between.
Public announcement: the flight deck is trying to troubleshoot, trying to turn it off. So please be patient with us. We know this is a very odd anomaly, and none of us are enjoying it.
We are.
For a few more moments, so we figure out how to turn it off. Thank you.
I wish we were on that flight. I mean, that absolutely sounds like somebody is playing a prank.
Who is having a...
Yeah, so there you go.
That's awesome. If your airplane is having problems, if you're in Russia, maybe the you should just learn how to repair your own airplane.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So I haven't actually watched this yet, but inside Russia, there's been a lot of problems getting, parts because of the sanctions. They actually were allowed to return a bunch of their leased planes even recently because the leasing companies are like, you have to return these planes. We can't send you parts. And if they fall out of maintenance, with FACO parts, you're paying for it, And they're like, that's bullshit. We can't even fly our planes places we want to fly them. And it's like, and I guess Aeroflot's like, oh, and by the way, we're gonna need you to crank on some wrenches there, buddy. It's like
That's gonna be fine.
I mean, they do make a good point when you look at the story. I think there is some benefit to pilots having more mechanical knowledge so they can write up, reports about stuff that's broken that are more accurate and stuff like that. But I mean, the idea that we don't have enough people wrenching on planes, can you go ahead and get out and help? Yeah, that's something different.
Yeah. Like we've all had the boss who you wish understood your job a little better.
Sure.
But also, like, you can't do every job. Like, that's not how this
is the nature of
works.
civilization.
Right. You specialize. And I got to tell you, man, I want the guy flying the airplane to be really, really, really good at flying an airplane. And I don't care if he can fix my engine. I want the dude who's really good at fixing the engine.
You want the guy who's good at fixing planes to do that. That's a real job. That takes a ton of training to do that
right.
Otherwise, you end up putting shit on backwards, and it's not good.
Right. Like, you don't want me fixing your car.
I mean, for small things.
Even if I drive you places, you don't want me fixing your car. Yeah. So the latest taking the internet by storm little meme is Trombone Champ.
Yeah, it's a game.
Yeah. It's a rhythm game. But in the trick to this, I haven't played it yet, but the trick to it is apparently it inverts the mouse. So it messes with your brain a little. So you're not particularly accurate. But now you can go through and watch videos of people overdubbing trombone sound effects over all sorts of sounds. And so I have got no better at rhythm games since Parappa the Rapper.
Well,
yeah,
I know what I'm gonna do the next time I have a fight with my wife. All right, time to cue up Trombone Champ. Let's see you get through this.
That's great. So yeah, that's going around everywhere right now.
Imagine if you just put this over the intercom of your American Airlines flight.
Right?
Right. I would ask the pilot to repair it.
Ah, fuck.
Oh my
You can
goodness.
play it on a Steam Deck.
Oh, good. I want to play it with a gyroscope. That'll be fun.
I hate gyroscope games, but
Yeah, me too.
All right.
I'm clumsy though.
Good
That's right. So we've got the ungodly surveillance of anti-porn shameware apps.
What is this?
I didn't read this one.
Didn't put that one in.
Yeah, it's like, I guess that story interests me because I never thought about it before, but of course. So basically, mega churches are handing their parishioners these apps that they put on their phones that keeps them from looking at porn, basically is what it is.
But like by blocking it, like, so it's just like a VPN or like a DNS blacklist?
I don't know if they report that those people have been watching porn to something, or if it just keeps you from looking at porn.
They list their names during the benediction at Sunday service.
Right.
Put it up on the big board.
So I'm not sure exactly how it keeps you from doing it, whether it's a block or a shame thing.
I think there's an electrode attached to the phone.
It could be
like a
just
TENS
like
unit.
It's like it could be like a Clockwork Orange where you
The opposite.
sit with your phone and yeah.
And then Stanley Kubrick comes out of the vestibule, the sacristy.
Someone tapes your eyes open.
Yeah, but I love the
but
Ludwig
they're
van.
all in masks,
The Ludwig van and the ultraviolence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
if you drink meth laced milk, it also
meth
reports it.
milk. Delicious.
Look.
Delicious.
You guys have a different idea of partying than I do.
We're from Michigan. You know, meth milk is normal.
Meth milk.
Well, that's what they drink in a Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's at the milk bar with the droogs.
With the droogs.
I have somewhere a picture of our good friend, who I'll tell the name of later, but Rob probably knows his name, in a spot-on Clockwork Orange costume. I think I have a picture of it somewhere. It's awesome. But I don't want to name him because might be an embarrassing photo if it exists in Google. Let's see. Mosquitoes. Why mosquitoes were the vaccinators in a new malaria vaccine trial? This sounds like a Rob story.
Oh, yeah.
It is. So what I thought they were just going to load the mosquitoes up and send them out in the wild to vaccinate folks, but it turns out that's not what the story was. That it's actually kind of interesting in that these people are doing a malaria trial, and instead of harvesting the changed malaria bugs, it was just cheaper for them to let them grow inside the mosquitoes and let the mosquitoes inoculate people by biting them. So that's what they did. This is all a cost saving measure because they can do the test faster and cheaper this way if they just let the mosquitoes do the inoculations through the trial. So I thought that was kind of interesting that these people are trying to cut the budget, so to speak, and this is one way they found out to do it.
No harm can come of this.
No, I'm sure it's not.
Let's definitely use mosquitoes to distribute our inoculations.
Well, I mean, specifically, they're, very interesting.
That's terrifying. I mean, it's so clever, but like, it's pretty clear where that goes.
To be fair, this is what they used to do.
Yeah.
This is old school. They're just doing it again because CRISPR's made it so that smaller companies can start doing this stuff.
Right.
But they don't have the technology and resources to do it, quote unquote, properly by harvesting the malaria and then injecting it to you themselves. So they have to skip a step and just let the mosquitoes do it.
It's like the organic artisanal approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To spreading the modified parasites.
Yeah. They're getting local vaccinations here, all local.
It's organic. It's close to home.
Yeah.
Arm to table.
Less arm to table.
Proboscis to arm.
Proboscis to arm.
I don't like this, but I don't go outside, so I'm not going to get bit by a mosquito and I'm going to die.
Well, these won't give you malaria. They will actually
they'll save me
the malaria vaccine, so I don't think you have to. Well,
no, I mean
these right now until of course they mutate when a few escape in the wild and then start a new monster or zombie franchise.
Oh, sweet.
So
that'll work out fine.
So you know how Google was doing the mosquito project to distribute the stuff that would make them basically only have, I think it's sons instead of
females are the ones who drink blood.
Yeah. So they had to come up with a machine learning model to sex mosquitoes. So they had this whole mechanism for pushing mosquitoes through this system, and then it goes boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. Right?
Yeah.
Separates them out. And so I put my arm inside the cage that was supposed to only have male mosquitoes, and I was not bitten. So it's a good model.
So
there was about
1,000
mosquitoes in that thing. It was weird because they were all flying against my arm. I could feel it was like little fans, a million little fans. But it was
it's
not
crazy how good that stuff's gotten. Back in the day, you just had to sit in a room with a bunch of mosquitoes and start watching The Notebook and see which ones paid attention.
Yeah. Who went to the Fast and the Furious television?
Right.
And who went to the Notebook?
Which ones prefer Ryan Gosling and which ones prefer Emma Stone? But you got a 10% margin of error.
Yeah. But this system works a lot faster.
The Notebook. Good job, Rob. You get one gold star. So the NASA DART story, I haven't read this yet. I was so far behind on my morning, so I literally don't know what has happened to the NASA DART. I knew it was happening last night.
Actually, pretty cool.
So I'm excited to see.
They, as far as I know, they still don't know how it's changed its trajectory, but they for sure hit it. So
This is cool. And we didn't even need CGI Bruce Willis.
no. Of course, we don't know if it was effective at all. So
Go. Ready?
Thump.
Ready? Dum, 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 dum. And
uh-oh,
I like how it got like the first
just a
attempt
little
here.
bit. Yeah.
Yep.
So did it have any sort of thrust, or was it purely just ramming?
I think it was just
Like
slamming into it.
thrust after
Yeah,
after
like
it hit. No, as far as I know, it was just all the inertia and the impact of the missile, whatever it was itself.
you know what
seen pictures of what it looked like.
they should get Steve Buscemi to shoot it with machine guns. That seemed pretty effective in that documentary from the 90s.
Mhm.
I'm when we're done here, I intend to watch all of this stuff because this is on my to-do list of
That's really cool.
things I really want to know everything about. But last night I was otherwise engaged.
What kind of danger does a 160-meter asteroid represent to the Earth?
Can't be that bad, right? 160 meters probably mostly burns up, right?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how big something.
In Armageddon, it was the size of Texas.
Right.
Yes, it also depends on its makeup, of course, but
All right. How big of an asteroid is dangerous? 35 meters across can pose a threat to a town or city.
So 160 meters is bigger than 35. I know that because of science.
Because of math.
thank you, school.
Thanks, school.
I'm just looking at that and wondering how many containers of keyboard cleaner you'd have to set off at once to push it a little bit in space. Probably an awful lot, right?
A lot.
Like the little things.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but you know,
Mm.
compared to a nuclear device, right? You can probably get a lot of keyboard cleaner cans for the price of one tactical nuke. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, at some point, a nuke is lighter than all those cans of equal
Sure,
energy.
but what's that level? What's that point?
6.
It's not that hard to figure out. I mean, a W12 warhead. How much is that one?
Yeah, you got to.
Oh no, it's hard to figure out because you have to figure out how much the cost of the warhead is. It's not just about weight. It's about total cost. The cheapest way to move an asteroid.
Okay.
Fair enough. So we don't talk enough about naked chess for a lot of good reasons.
Don't we
I
though?
thought that a long time.
Yeah. So Campsite offers Hans Niemann $1 million to play Nude Chess to prove he didn't cheat.
Yeah.
This was the story.
Hottest chess.
This story's been weird and going along for a while,
It
right?
has, but also that camera would have to be at a pretty interesting angle to
Shallow,
make sure,
shall we say?
to make sure that he wasn't cheated in the way they say he was, right? Just like
Camp.
this setup would not work for that.
That was the butt vibrator.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you've cracked it, Rob.
All right. Excellent.
Crack.
All right. Ooh. Oh, we're on a roll today.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad. This story in general, because Magnus wrote an op-ed.
We demand we see the crack cam cut.
No,
I
the
just-
butthole cut.
I'm just saying getting the setup just right is just going to be a pain in the ass.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of fail between us today. I'm proud of us.
I really backed into that one. Yeah.
But let's talk about something important. All right, this is just funny.
Well, I mean, did he respond or did he rear up in horror? I mean,
Oh, I see. Okay, all right.
No, he just sat back and ignored it.
Can I ask you guys to keep going?
sure.
See, ask.
I got it.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to do that in my
There's
house.
a lot of shitty content on the internet. What the hell? The FBI has a new secret weapon, the rookie feds. I'm like, this is like, was this all written by a keyboard macro? I mean,
Probably. It's all written by the AI,
Well,
and then few
To be
years.
fair, it is being advertised in a story about trying to
Anal
catch
bead
someone
chess.
cheating at chess by shoving stuff up his ass. So
Yeah.
Right.
What's it say about New Zealand?
yeah.
I'm fascinated by this story in general.
It's
Though
so weird.
the cheating in chess thing is like nobody will say how or why and then you see like statistics, like a statistician is like there's no way the guy's cheating, and somebody else is like, oh yeah, he totally is.
I gotta give it up to the campsite marketing people though,
For
right? I mean,
sure.
how
Clever.
many things fall into your lap like this for them?
I mean,
right?
they beat Pornhub to the
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I mean, they
Good
should have
on
been all
them.
over it the second this word anal beads, wireless anal beads was used, you know? Seems like really up their alley.
Yeah. Like it seems like they'd have their Google alert set to vibrating anal beads cheating.
Yeah.
Wait, anal beads are trending on Twitter? We got to get on that.
Let's hop on that. Yeah.
That's glorious. The only other thing that we didn't talk about on Friday, have you guys watched Andor yet?
I have.
I'm not really motivated like you guys are, so you should talk about
it. Do you have any opinions, Rob?
It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't honestly remember Rogue One well enough. So I'm kind of like I have the vaguest remembrance of who this character is.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I'm watching it almost as if I don't know what's going on.
It's not a prequel to you.
Yeah, and it's just it's about the same, I think, of anything they've done.
Yeah.
It isn't terrible. It's all right, I guess.
It's kind of fun to have it like be like a Cold War thriller kind of thing almost. Like we're behind the Iron Curtain, like engaged in our subterfuge. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I also like that there's been 3 episodes and nobody's used the Force at any point to solve a problem with a laser sword.
That's true.
I have a question. I haven't seen Andor, but you've heard me rant about Witchblade.
Yep.
How the point of Witchblade was to show me the damn Witchblade. So if they have a Star Wars story and there's no Force, is it still a Star Wars story?
I mean, they have droids.
Well, it's called Andor, and he's in it pretty prominently. So
or we still expect Force.
Yep. All the operators are available.
I guess there's no Jedi or anything.
Yeah.
No Sith Lords.
But in the time period, that makes sense because the Jedi are all but extinct. There's only like a half a dozen of them alive still.
It seems like there's a lot of Jedi available when you need them, though.
It's true.
You know?
And almost like they're created out of thin air at the convenience of the producer's needs. But, you know.
I have a question. So have we spoken about the balance of the Force problem?
How Anakin was chosen to bring balance to the Force, and yet he actually did?
Well, you know, he did, because he killed off all the good ones until there was only as many bads as goods.
Yeah, he balanced the Force.
He balanced the Force, right?
Yeah.
So if you're always supposed to have an exact balance, you know, for every Palpatine, there's gonna be a, you know, Luke, right?
I hear a sort of Thanos was right movement starting.
I mean, guys, I hate to tell you this, but you're about 20 years behind, 30 years behind on this debate.
Well, okay.
Yeah, Anakin did bring balance to the Force, just not the way that the Jedi Council expected him to.
It's true. Well, in the Jedi Council's defense, they weren't enthusiastic about training Anakin.
No, they were too busy playing naked chess.
It's true. It's true.
Learning how to repair airplanes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you guys a thing. Did you watch the Quantum Leap reboot?
No.
I have not.
Okay.
Should
we'll
I?
talk about it next time. Should's a strong word.
Is it an episode or is it just a trailer?
There's 2 episodes of the first season so far. So.
I'll watch it if like one person tells me it's actually worth watching, but if so far I've not heard anybody who's told me that it's actually worth watching.
Yeah, I mean, I'd check it out just because it was kind of a neat show.
I personally liked the first one.
This, you know, I'm going to probably have to defend this, but I really like Sliders.
Oh, I liked Sliders too.
The first
couple seasons of that were great.
They were
and
fantastic.
Then it went off the rails pretty quickly.
Then they brought in Carrie Wurr, and it was over. You know, he's the harbinger of Doom. But no, I like Sliders a lot. Professor, what's his name? Rhys Davies or whatever.
Yeah, Rhys Davies.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he's awesome.
He's
I'd
been in a
watch
lot of
anything
good
that
stuff.
guy was in.
He's supposedly going to be in the last Indie, right?
Probably.
I mean, he's the
they're
one
propping
that's
up all the corpses for that thing.
he skipped all the bad ones, right?
I understand they're going to be exhuming Sean Connery for that one.
Oh, that's not cool.
As long as he said bad dates, that'll be fine for me. I just want him to say bad dates one more time.
I
I
want him to wear the Zardoz costume.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't though.
Anyway,
yeah.
name
So
that his corpse.
maybe watch the first episode of the Quantum Leap.
I have so much
what's the right way
TV
to
to
say
watch
this?
right now.
It's extremely Canadian.
Fair enough.
It's literally like, okay, so all these people were in every other Canadian show. We're in the 5-minute break between takes of the other show. Let's film this thing. It's just not very good.
That's a lot of shows right now, though.
Oh man,
it seems like there should be a larger pool of working actors spread out over.
I was just listening to a story about Discovery Plus's plan for HBO because they're buying HBO Go.
Yeah.
And how they're getting rid of their goal is to get rid of quote unquote prestige programming and focus more on reality based shows that are cheaper to produce. So
that's what the
say goodbye to The Wire, say goodbye to The Sopranos, say goodbye to Game of Thrones, say goodbye to all of the things that really made basically pay television
special,
like huge.
But also Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers owns DC. Warner Brothers owns all of these movies, right? And that's the same.
Yeah, we may not get another Robert Pattinson
I mean, it's not a huge loss, but I'd prefer to have that than another episode of Quantum Leap.
Well, here's the thing. Like the guy they brought in to run HBO now, Discovery Plus Max, whatever the hell they're calling it. He was a Honey Boo Boo guy.
Yeah, well,
he's the one who, ushered in the new era of poverty tourism, deadliest catch, Honey Boo Boo television. And it's like, you all have fun with that.
Yay.
I'll figure out how to cancel my subscription.
Eventually. I can't cancel mine. Mine's built into my phone.
If I cancel the credit card.
Too. How many people do you think have HBO just simply bundled with their phone? Because that's what we have.
Yeah, that's true.
Not as many for long, right? Because AT&T sold it. So I'm getting it through my phone plan. And I don't think that I would pay for HBO anymore. I think that the Hot D is the only show I think I'm watching now. No, you know what? They have Doom Patrol.
Hot D?
House of the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
That's what the cool kids call it.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm not cool.
No, I know. Neither am I, but I am aware of cool kids.
Yeah.
I follow them on
I've been
Twitter.
keeping up with House of the Dragon. I've been watching it. It's fine.
I actually liked this week's episode, but it was weird because they now
this
skipped.
This episode was very tiring.
They skipped 10 years in the timeline and they replaced the actors. It's kind of neat, actually.
Yeah, Christine and I were talking about it. I'm like, what is it about this thing? She's like, we just, when in Game of Thrones, we actually came to be interested in the characters.
Yeah.
And we're not interested in these characters yet.
Well, that's the thing that I think we've said.
Like we're being told that we're interested in them, but we're not yet.
Game of Thrones had A-list great actors in all the key roles.
They weren't A-list though.
Well, they had perfect casting.
They had perfect casting.
And I would say Sean Beam is pretty high up on the list. Maybe not A-list, but I mean he's well respected. Peter Dinklage, well respected. Oscar Peter Dinklage.
Lena Headey. I mean, Lena Headey. So all the people you have heard about before in this thing were awesome. And all the people they pulled, well, mostly, to play the other roles were remarkable.
Yeah, well, and this showed the only actor I think that
Jamie Lannister, he had been in a bunch of stuff already, and he was so good.
The only actor that I know of ahead of Hot D was Doctor Who.
Yeah, right.
And I I don't like his character.
No.
I think he's terrible at that guy.
He got Morbius
There-
on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Morbing. It's Morbin time. you
It's
know.
always
yeah.
Morbin time on Hot D.
Yeah.
For me, I think that is one of the my biggest problems with it. I don't think he encompasses what that character is supposed to be at all.
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
I think you're exactly right, but my problem is that because he's confusing, I can't figure out what his character is supposed to be. Like I just can't figure it out. Like is he the worst thing ever? I think they're trying to make him seem horrible, but I don't feel that because I think he's got a good charisma.
He's supposed to be sort of Jamie Lannister, but you know how Jamie was a decent human being underneath? He's
Well,
not.
here's the thing. Jamie Lannister, he made you like him even though he was an incestuous child-killing monster.
Yeah.
I mean, think of the charisma, right?
Yeah.
And then you bring in Matt Smith and you're like, listen, you're on the bubble charisma wise, so we're gonna have you be a terrible person.
I really like
People are gonna hate you. And that's like, he was great in The Crown.
Yeah.
You know?
But again, in that he was kind of playing just like a clear, arrogant douchebag kind of character. And this
It was
And-
perfect.
yeah.
I don't really feel the vibe from Daenerys B either.
Phoneris,
See?
Yeah.
Oh,
They-
the
Rhaenyra.
Princess Reign era. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's
Everyone, I'm looking at the cast list. Everyone in it, they're just shy of being good enough, charisma enough, compelling enough.
It's the
And, like, they
Canadian
took
version
people
of everything.
Who are kind of is? Well, I mean, it's all filmed in Czechoslovakia, former Czechoslovakia. So like Paddy Constantine, I think he's a great actor, but he plays a schlub. You know, it's like, Graham McTavish is a fantastic actor. And they just have him standing there as a Kingsguard. It's like, what are you doing? Take him, put him in that role, and you'll have a better show.
I mean, how are
Big
you going to
dum-dums?
get like they're trying to make the old hand sort of conniving, but I mean, he's no Littlefinger, he's no the
Yeah.
Spider, right?
That's
I
the
mean,
thing.
they're just pale
Yeah.
comparisons to what
Yep.
the old show was.
It's
Well,
the
here's thing,
Canadian
they took
version
the old show
of Game of
shook it up
Thrones.
inside a box, and they pulled out characters and saw what stuck to them from the last show. Like they had Matt Smith and the prostitute, right? And it's like that brief scene. They're like, oh, he has forbidden love. But now it's like, okay, well, that was like 2 episodes, whatever. It's like they literally plucked that out of Game of Thrones and
But you know
Peter
what?
Dinklage's character.
To their credit, now we've had 15 years go by in 6 episodes. They're actually telling like some story. Like stuff is
trying.
happening. And that's when you compare it to the Rings of Power. That's the problem with Rings of Power is that we basically
We call it rope now.
Oh, all right.
Rock.
When that show were the same number of episodes, but like not a lot has happened in all these episodes.
Yeah.
Like we've spent a bunch of episodes getting an army together. Cool.
But we
It's
we
very
know the
long.
origins of Mithril now.
Yay.
Although I'm sure the origins of Mithril go way before the time in the books but anyway, we won't get into it.
Nope. Hey, let's say goodbye. I think
All
one
right.
of us has a hard stop at 11 o'clock.
I have a meeting. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's say goodbye to Chris DeBona
See ya.
and to Robert Wisboom.
Goodbye.
I was Rob Commander Taco Malta. That was Geeks in Space, episode 747. Thanks for flying with us. Bye.